measures. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Giordano and the Nighthawks.
Technical difficulties. 1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome to Birdland. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We are the Nighthawks, music for the most part of the 1920s and 30s, and I'm your host for this segment. My name is Vince Giordano. Thank you. We opened up with a tune that was definitely not from the 1920s or 30s, but actually the 50s, and it was used for a theme song for the great old TV show, the Abbott and Costello show. It was called Hey Abbott, Hey Abbott, and get everybody kind of in that big opening kind of mode and mood, whatever. And to play the tune, though, you have to have a special drum. And we happen to have a wonderful drummer. Came all the way from California to play with us. That's Riley Baker back there on the timpani. Nice. And then we segued into a tune that was played by Duke Ellington back around 1929. And originally, I used to think it was a Duke Ellington tune, but it's actually written by Dorothy Fields and Jimmy McHugh, who were working at a lot of the Cotton Club shows at that time. And it kind of sums up what's going on in New York. We've had some real cold weather, and now we hit a record high of 30 degrees or so today. So it's starting to melt. Anyway, that tune is called Freeze and Melt. Freeze and Melt. There you go. And we had John Kelso on the hot trumpet. Yeah. And that was Evan Arnson on the chromatic clarinet. Yeah, he's one of the better chromatic players there. And Riley switched from his timpani to his tubular chimes. Give a little chime note there for the folks that we hear it. There you go. Answer it, will you? That's the bell. And this sort of looks like Sonny Greer's old drum set with the chimes and the timpani and all that stuff. And then we had a great alto sax solo, and that was Will Anderson. Yeah. Now, Will, you got some neat Birdland things happening coming up soon. Could you tell us all?
Sure. Thank you, Uncle Vince. Well, I'll be co-leading a show upstairs every Saturday in March at 5:30, along with my twin brother, Peter. So check that out upstairs every Saturday in March. Also, I wanted to mention, I have a product for sale this evening. It's not a CD or an LP. It actually goes way back further in time to the 1400s of the Gutenberg printing press. It's called a book. Oh. And I wrote it. It's called Songbook Summit, 15 Pioneers of American Sound, and it chronicles the life stories of America's great composers like George Gershwin, Cole Porter, Irving Berlin, and Lady Gaga. Check it out. Thank you.
All right, Will Anderson. Yowza. Here's a song that never got to the recording studios, at least I haven't found it, and it was written in 1932. It's called It's Hallelujah Time. It's written by a guy named Joe Trent, who, for the most part, wrote a lot of lyrics with a lot of people, but I understand with further research that he did a lot of composing in the early 20s, too. Anyway, It's Hallelujah Time from 1932. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hallelujah Time. You know, Joe Trent, he wrote some stuff with Duke Ellington He later went to Hollywood, worked for MGM Studios for a while. But that's the only version that I know, which we got off an old, what they call stock arrangement. Arranged by Ken McComber, a wonderful arranger from the 20s and 30s. And let's see, we had John Kelso there on the trumpet, Mark Lopman on the tenor sax, and Matt Musselman playing some nice hot trombone. So let's slow things down a little bit. I have to slow down a little bit. Anyway, his song that is one of the last songs recorded by the great Bix Beiderbecke. Bix Beiderbecke, a wonderful cornet player and pianist, composer, and spent his last years in New York here. He passed away in Queens in 1931 at the age of 28. This session was from 1930, and he got some wonderful players on this date. He got Benny Goodman, who was young and up and coming, Jack Teagarden, and I think he might have had Gene Krupa there, I forget. It's called Deep Harlem, and it's written by two of the fellows that Bix worked with in the Whiteman Band, Matt Melnick and Frank Signorelli. And it's a Brad K. transcription. Brad, if you're listening out there, thank you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Deep Harlem. Mary Melnick and Frank Signorelli. That was John Kelso playing that wonderful Bix solo. And we had Evan Arnson playing that great Benny Goodman solo. Nice. Deep Harlem. Wow. All right. Here's a kind of funny little tune that was played by a band called the Nighthawks, the Coon Sanders Nighthawks. They came out of Kansas City. About 1919, Carlton Coon on the drums and Joe Sanders got together and formed a duo. And they did pretty good, but they said, hey, let's try to get some more guys in the band. And sure enough, 8 more guys showed up and it became the Coon Sanders Orchestra. And it's kind of a strange little tune, but we play strange tunes, as you know. And it's called Roodles. And Joe Boga is going to do his best to grab all those notes that Bob Pope, he was the original trumpet player in that band, the solo. And here it is, Roodles. 1, 2, 1, 2. Strange or what? That was strange. All right, that was Joe Boga there, playing all that funny notes there that Bob Pope played, and we also had a rare contribution there from our violinist Andy Stein, with the other side of Andy Stein comes out. There you go. And the original Joe Sanders, he was the piano player who wrote this tune. His solo was nicely done by Peter Yaron. Peter Yaron wrote that piano. All right. Well, let's see what we got here. I think we should, let's see here. Slow things down, I think, a little bit. We'll leave it at this. Leave it at this. We keep it peppy. Why not? It's always good to be peppy. One of the great bands that came through New York in the 1920s and 30s was the Louis Russell Band. And Louis Russell had some amazing players. Henry Red Allen there on the trumpet, and J.C. Higginbottom on the slide trombone. Of course, Louis Russell on the piano, and Paul Barber on the drums. Pops Foster sometimes played an aluminum bass. I don't know if he would admit to that, but he did. And they made some great records. And one of them I'm going to play for you right now with our interpretation here, Jan Stolba's transcription of Singin' Pretty Songs. And the other thing I want to say more about Mr. Louis Russell, he has a wonderful daughter who still sings here in the wonderful year of 2026, and she's going to be singing upstairs at Birdland right around Valentine's Day, and her name is Catherine Russell, and both John Kelso and let's see who else, Evan Arnson are going to be playing with her upstairs. So check that. It's an amazing job that she does, singing and entertaining. Don't miss it. That's all. All right, here it is. Singing pretty songs. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Matt Musselman on the trombone, and who else we had there? Will Anderson on the alto saxophone. Nice, okay. Here's a song that goes back to about 1922 or so. It was written in England by a fellow named Philip Abraham, and I'm told from a wonderful British band leader that Mr. Abraham, for some reason, dropped the A on his name, so you always will see his title credit is Philip Braham, which is strange. I don't know. Maybe it didn't fit on the label correctly or the record or something. But anyways, the tune is called Limehouse Blues, and this is a tune that Paul Whiteman played in the early days of his band, because he went over to England and heard this tune and said, "Wow, it's a wonderful tune. Let's bring it back." And in the late 20s, a guy named Tom Satterfield reorchestrated it for the Whiteman band, and here it is. And with help from our good friend, the late Herb Gardner, who made it a little playable for us here. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, man, the Limehouse Blues. With some nice passages there on the violin with Andy Stein. Check that out, nice. And oh, that was Evan Arnson playing some nice alto sax there. Yeah, he has a wonderful CD that's just came out too. It's on the merch table, and good to have Riley Baker there playing all his fun percussion stuff there. You got the temple blocks and the chimes and gongs and all that. That was good. Try to keep up with all that. That was very good. And then Matt Musselman, did you bring another different trombone tonight? No? Why did it sound different?
This maybe? What is that?
What's that?
Megaphone?
The megaphone, all right.
Do we want to hear a little bit of it?
Yeah, I want to hear a little bit of it, yeah. That's the use.
Megaphone?
Oh, man. Wow, how about that? Matt Musselman. It's going to be a Matt Musselman megaphone, MMM. So what happens if you don't use the megaphone?
Close.
Oh. Stop. Okay, that's good, that's fine. Thank goodness for megaphones. Okay. Well, you know, we get requests, and sometimes we play them, sometimes we wait a long time. Like this one was requested last year, and so sometimes we get the request and we don't play them. But anyway, this tune was a little plaintive tune that Eddie Cantor sang in a film called Whoopi. And Whoopi, for the most part, the score, for the whole part, I think it was by Walter Donaldson and Gus Kahn. And Eddie sings it really slow and very sad, you know. But turns out there was a band arrangement of it from the West Coast, a band called Jack Coakley and his orchestra. In 1930, they made a Flexo record, and we're going to play this for you right now. It's called "A Girlfriend of a Boyfriend of Mine." Has some saxophone parts. Good, nice. All right, brass parts are good. All right. Now we gotta go long distance here. Long distance. Not bad. Okay. Paper's getting better. All right, "A Girlfriend of a Boyfriend of Mine." If you can, check out the video. He's in like a Model T or something that broke down, and he's singing to Ethel Chate, who was George Olson's wife, and lamenting, you know, his relationship that went another place. We're not going to sing it here tonight. It's too fast to sing. "A Girlfriend of a Boyfriend of Mine." 1, 2, 1, 2. These guys reading that down. Wow. Wow. Occasionally peace breaks out there on the bandstand. A girlfriend of a boyfriend of mine, written by Walter Donaldson. All right. We're going to slow things down right now. Have to. And this is one of the tunes we play every set because we love Louis Armstrong so much. You folks have heard Louis Armstrong, I hope. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Oh, by the way, tonight, which is Tuesday, and it's our 5:30 show, we do this thing called live streaming. Live streaming. For you older folks, it's sort of like broadcasting, right? And we're broadcasting, we're live streaming right now on the net. If you go to YouTube and you type in Radio Free Birdland, and you could watch us. So any of you folks in the audience tonight here at Birdland on West 44th Street, you can tell your friends to tune in. Any messages to the family? You know, don't forget to feed Petey the dog. You know, I'll relay that and all that. No, I'm just kidding. And you can tell folks, you know, that they can submit requests, you know, via email, and we'll try to get them, you know, in the next year or so. All right. Right now, a wonderful tune that changed the career of Louis Armstrong and jazz for that matter. It's a beautiful tune called the West End Blues. And the West End Blues was written by a fellow New Orleans trumpet cornet man named Joe Oliver, also known as King Oliver. But to Louis Armstrong, he was Papa Joe because he had a lot of influence over young Louis Armstrong in those years, the early years. And so he always talked nicely of Papa Joe. It's called the West End Blues, and John Kelso is going to play it for you. Before we get to that, we always like to tell you about this place in Queens called the Louis Armstrong House Museum. And I've been begging them to send me some more cards. It's coming. Any year now, they're going to send in more cards so that we can have them on the merch table. Check out this place. It's really great. Both our trumpet players and us, of course, have been over there, but our trumpet guys actually blew on Louis Armstrong's gold trumpet. Pretty neat. West End Blues. Here's John Kelso to tell you all about it. Doing Earl Father Hines' solo. Give him a big hand. Yeah! John Kelso, playing that great Louis Armstrong solo. Woo! I want to mention that John leads a band every Sunday down in lower New York City, and it's a place called the Ear Inn, like that. I'm not kidding you, that's the name of the place. And it's on Spring Street Sundays, and sometimes the band changes around a little bit, so John decided to call the band the Ear Regulars, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. He has a way with words, you know. Anyway, so, and he also has a new CD out called Live at the Ear Inn. It's available, I guess, online, but we have it here, and he can autograph it for you too. Nice. Yeah, we had a nice solo there from Matt Musselman on the trombone, and of course our wild and crazy clarinets, megaphones. There you go. Nice. These guys, they put up with that, you know, but then they do a great job. It really, it's something. It wasn't on the original recording date. We try to do it to get a little visual thing happening here. The guy that used the clarinet megaphones really big time was a guy named Hal Kemp, which had nothing to do with the West End Blues, but it was sort of a mashup, as these young people used to say, a mashup. Thank you, guys. And then one of the great jazz pianists was a fellow named Earl Father Hines, who came out of Pittsburgh. And our good friend Tom Roberts comes out of Pittsburgh, too. Today's his birthday, too. Don't play Happy Birthday. We can't play. No, that's okay. And who contributed a lot to the Nighthawk book and used to play with us. And Pittsburgh It's a really moving town. Dan Block also has a birthday today. Dan Block, let's hear it for Dan Block. Let's hear it. There you go, good. And I like all that percussion sound. And speaking of percussion, that's a good lead-in. You might have heard something different back there in the drum section. And sure enough, it was. It's Riley Baker, and he dug out his baccarat box cymbals. Baccarat box were used in the late 20s by guys like Sonny Greer, who worked with Duke Ellington, and Zooey Singleton, who did a bunch of dates with Louis around this time in 1928. Hey, Riley, play a little of that baccarat box for the folks. Yeah, man, that's it. Woo! Okay. So if you listen to the original recording, when you hear those little clippity-clop cymbals, you'll know what it is. It's the baccarat box cymbals. Or you could buy our new album here. How about that? With the West End Blues on it, and hear the clippity-clop, and of course, John Kelso and the rest of the guys. So it's available right there. It's available online too, Rivermount Records. But I always like to say that this is a record that's kind of different a little bit. Why is it different? Why is this night different tonight? Anyway, why is this record different tonight? Because it was recorded at 78 RPM. What? Yeah, I knew you'd do that. So make sure you have the 3 speeds on your turntable, or else it'll sound not so good. All right, that's the West End Blues. Now, I put together a little Duke Ellington medley. Duke Ellington, who started his New York career right around this neighborhood here at a place called the Club Kentucky. And he started to really attract a lot of the New York publishers and managers and recording people, and got a lot of great contacts. Irving Mills found him and said, wow, let's get this band up to a bigger and better place, and they did. They went to the Cotton Club. And Duke was at the Cotton Club so long that he wrote 2 Cotton Club Stomps. And we're gonna play both of them, you know, in between with Mood Indigo, so you can't get stomped out. So this is Cotton Club Stomp number 1. Andy Stein transcribed it back in the 80s, I believe. It's on our Cotton Club CD too. 1, 2, 1, 2. Stomp, #1. We started out with Andy Stein there on the baritone sax, who transcribed that. And then Joe Boga playing some nice hot trumpet there. And Evan Arnson on saxophone, and Will Anderson on the clarinet. And Riley Baker back there on the hot cymbals. Yowza. All right, well, next Duke Ellington song. This one was transcribed by Mark Lopman, our tenor saxophone player. And this was written by Duke Ellington and Barney Bigard, whose original name was Albany, believe it or not, Albany Bigard. I don't know why he changed his name, but I'll leave that to you researchers out there. And it's called Mood Indigo. Big number for Duke. He played it throughout his whole career. Different arrangement, but this is the original arrangement from 1930. 2, 3, 4. Play it, Duke. Joe Boga. Play it, Barney. Evan Arnson. How about that? Mood Indigo. Joe Boga there on that high trumpet. Nice. Everybody was playing high there, too. That was, and they're not even drinking, too. And that was Evan Arnson on that Barney Bigard solo. And yeah. And I love that really mysterious piano stuff that Duke did there. Could you play that again? No, the low. There you go. Yeah, nobody plays that, but Mark Lopman captured that. Thank you very much, Mark. Okay, onward to our last part of the Ellington medley, and this is Cotton Club Stomp number 2. And so, you know, I guess they got tired of playing number 1, so they started playing number 2. Here it is. 1, 2, 1, 2. Club Stomp, numero 2, number 2. That was great. Yeah, John Kelso playing that nice trumpet solo. Yeah, and what else? Oh yeah, you know, we had these different saxophones you might have seen and heard, and they are called soprano saxophones. Yowza, all right. And in the early Ellington band, Sidney Bechet played that soprano saxophone, and he left a great, I think, influence on a lot of the saxophones players that played around him. Sidney left the band. The story is, I don't think Sidney Bechet really read music, but he was able to interweave his parts. So Sidney Bechet was the soprano saxophone guy that really everybody talked about in the early days of jazz. Later on, a guy named Kenny G came on the scene. And believe it or not, in the early days of this band, when we used to play this place called the Red Blazer, this fella would come in and, yeah, you want to sit in? Sure. He had a saxophone, and it was Kenny G. He played with us. But he doesn't come around anymore. No, you know, I guess he's too busy, or, you know, and maybe a little too wealthy. I don't know, but we miss him, and maybe he'll come back sometime. So I've dedicated names to our 3 soprano saxophone. We have Kenny X, Kenny Y, and Kenny Z. There you go, nice. So we'll see what happens there. All right, the Cotton Club Stomp with the soprano saxophones. All right, I think it's time to put the charts away, and we're going to play an old favorite called Shimmy Shawabble. And this was written by a guy named Spencer Williams. So we got C minor to C, then E flat minor to E flat, is that right? Is that right?
C
minor to E flat.
Oh, C minor to E flat.
That's just the last time.
Last time.
Yes, C minor to E flat.
C minor to C. C minor to C.
Right,
Start
yeah.
with.
And then,
Last time is that.
okay, and then the last time it goes gonna go to E flat?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you here. Okay, I can't read my notes here. This is my acoustic teleprompter right here, you know, with paper. Okay, I'll give you a little vamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, like that. Thank you. Riley Baker. Yeah, all right. Man, oh man. Shimmy Shawabble. Okay. Not too many people play that song anymore. But thank you for getting that out of the dustpan, or the cobwebs, as we used to say. And that one's so old it's got whiskers, as Jelly Roll Morton used to say. All right, that's Evan Arnson on the clarinet. Don't forget about his CD. That was John Kelso on the trumpet. Don't forget about his CD. And that was Matt Musselman without CD. But don't forget his megaphone. There you go. And it was great to have a full-fledged banjo solo there by Devin Cortan. Nice, all right. And our pianist forfeited his piano solo and chose to play something on the Heavenly Celeste. Heavenly Celeste. Play a little Heavenly Celeste for us there. Oh, yeah. There you go. Wow. I think we've done that before. But anyway, that's Peter Yaron on the celeste, one of the few celeste players at Birdland. Yowza. And another guy who changed instruments without telling us, but that's okay. It's kind of, we know we're going to do it, is Andy Stein. He picked up his phono fiddle or Stroh violin, or simply the violin with the horn on it. There you go, Andy Stein. Nice. There you go. Okay. Now, while we're talking about Andy Stein and his famous phono fiddle, we happen to have lots of copies here. These are collector's items, or they will be, of the Syncopated Times. Syncopated Times is a wonderful magazine dedicated to early jazz and ragtime and early swing. And there's lots of reviews, there's stories. But this issue, which we have over there, and it's free, by the way. I mean, this issue is free, is the Andy Stein edition. And if you get him to autograph it, which is not hard to do, you can sell it at the flea market for at least $2 or $3, you know, and like that. And right in the center of that magazine is our little ad, which I put on cards, by the way, and it explains about our shows. Mondays and Tuesdays, we do 2 shows on Monday, 2 shows on Tuesday, and the Tuesday, as we're doing right now, is the live stream. Well, I appreciated the one person that applauded for my bass sax solo. It was very nice. There it is. There you go. And you know, the more you drink, the better it sounds. And the more I drink, the better I think it sounds. Yowza. Hey, how about a big hand for this young gentleman who came all the way from California to play with us. He's not only a great string bass player, upright bass, great trombone player, but he's a drummer. And he's only 25 years old. That's Riley Baker. How about kidding? Yeah. You don't mind me mentioning your age, do you? You do it because, yeah, well, you still can. That's the right way to think about it. I remember 25. That was a long time ago. Anyway, that's when I started the band practically with the great Rich Conity. And Rich Conity's fans out there, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in the old days to our good friend Uncle Floyd, who left us, our good friend Ken Poplowski, who left us yesterday, a wonderful jazz artist who played with the Nighthawks for many years, and man, Godspeed. Anyway, back to our show. Our pianist, Peter Yaron, forfeited his piano solo, and we're going to give it back to him right now. It's like the card that you get at Monopoly, you know, you don't have to go to jail. You don't have to pay the $200. Just play the piano. And he's always coming up with something new. What do you got to play for the folks tonight?
I'd like to do Swampy River by Duke Ellington.
Another Duke Ellington number. Man, oh man, wait till the Ellington estate hears about this. And that's okay. We happen to know Duke Ellington's granddaughter, Mercedes, a wonderful lady who's keeping the Duke Ellington legacy alive, and she was a wonderful dancer. I'm sure she could dance a little bit too. What Duke tune are you going to play for us?
Swampy River.
Oh, Swampy River. Oh my God, that's where I go to the beach every summer. Swampy River. Go ahead, take it away. Duke Ellington's Swampy River. Wow. We're going to play a little pop tune right now. It talks about when it gets too cold, which it does, you know, in wintertime, and a lot of people just go south. And these wonderful writers, Jack LaSoir, Ray Dahl, and Saul Klein, wrote this little tune called "Make My Cot Where the Cotton Grows." And it's going to, you know, maybe think about going to a warmer place. I go to a warmer place. I go to my office. It's warmer there. It's cheaper. All right, here we go. California Ramblers, 1927. 1, 2, hop, ho. Snowflakes are flying and Jack Frost is on my toes. Just make my cot where the cotton grows. When I start to follow the trail to swallow back home where the Tennessee flows. Just make my cot where the cotton grows. Oh, Sandman, when I land, shake your sand right onto my shack. In my sleep, and I'll weep, so glad to get back. When I lay my head in metal, feather bedded, and no longer shedding my woes. Just make my cot, the cotton grows. Banjo solo there by Devin Cortan, John Kelso on the trumpet. We got the soprano saxes going one more time. Didn't have to raise the thing. And who else? Evan Onson and Matt Musselman there too. Yikes. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to say we've run out of time. Yeah. We got to take a break and come back for our 8:30 show. And all you folks that have come, I hope you take this little flyer that's on your table, because this little, that's like it's a booklet. I misspoke. And if you look inside this booklet, you'll see why this place called Birdland is the world's greatest jazz nightclub. And we're so honored to be part of this. This club has been going, I think we're in our 76th year, you know. Why? Because people like you come to support live music, and we thank you for doing that. And all you folks out there in internet land, you know, hope you come to New York and see us, or at least pass the word on that we're here Mondays and Tuesdays. It'd be really great. And what else can I say? good New Year's resolution? How about introducing the idea of live music to some young people? What do you think? The Mets having a little problems. They're laying off some people. Why? Not enough audience. But if we introduce some live music to kids when they're 2, 3, 4 years old, they'll remember that, and they'll come. They'll come to the Met. They'll come to Broadway. They'll come to jazz shows, jam sessions, whatever. There you go. Thanks. We're going to close off with a hot tune that was played by the great Castaloma Band back in the late 20s, early 30s, written by the banjo player Gene Gifford. And we used to have one of the original Castaloma members in this band, a wonderful man named Clarence Hutchinrider, who played the clarinet for many, many years. Here it is, Castaloma Stomp. 1, 2, 1,
7 o'clock. If you'd like to stay with us, please inform your host. For those of you leaving, we want to thank you and look forward to your next visit.
I've been in and out of music.